What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, then welcome to my channel, my friend. My name is Jackson Desjardins, and I'm here to help you build your super self, lose some weight, and just get you in line with exactly who you want to be. All right, guys, optimal, okay? It's a word I hate. It's a word that I've used a lot in my past, and I wanted to make this video because recently I've been trying to change up my lifting split, and lifting split meaning like I'm going to the gym and I'm training certain things on certain days. And in my pursuit of finding this new split, I've been chasing this idea of like trying to be optimal and like, well, what's the most optimal split for me to do during the week? You know, I'm not taking into account that I don't want to lift, you know, more than probably 4 or 5 days a week. It just doesn't work for me, and I want to be active in different ways. I'm trying to kind of like get out of the fitness mindset because it's absolute dog shit, and I'm trying to get more in the health mindset. So like, I was a swimmer. I want to go swim on Wednesdays. I want to start doing jujitsu with my friend Grant, right? But for me, lifting is so ingrained in my identity that I wanted to find the best split, and more specifically, I wanted to find the most optimal split. I'm looking at 6-day-a-week push-pull leg split. I'm looking at 4-day-a-week upper-lower splits. I'm looking at 3-day-a-week full body split. And I literally had to realize, I was like, wow, I'm looking for all this perfection, and I'm looking for like this perfect kind of program, when the differences between them, if I'm staying consistent with any split for the most part that I do, I'm gonna be making progress. So it's like, I had to realize that me chasing this idea of optimal is actually massively crippling, because first of all, you're never gonna find it. You're never gonna find the one that's like, oh, that's it. This is the most optimal one for me, and I'm just gonna go after it, right? You're never gonna find that. And even if you do find that, if it's a schedule and a lifting split that you genuinely don't enjoy, your ass ain't gonna be there. So in all of my reflection, I just wanted to make this video for you guys, because I know a lot of you are doing the same thing, because, well, if I'm gonna lift weights, I wanna do it right. A lot of you are trying to lose weight, and you're like, if I'm gonna lose weight, I wanna do it the most optimal way so I can get it the fastest, right? We want it, and we want it now. But there's so much beauty in slow progress, guys. I really want you to understand that, because the journey makes you not the destination, and I would just as soon have a longer journey for more transformation mentally in my identity and physically than to do it really quick and not really learn anything. And I know it's tough because, you know, there's so many YouTube videos from all these big names that are coming out talking about the most optimal split, and you don't have enough frequency and progressive overload and this, and you start to get into this analysis paralysis where you are like analyzing so hard that you're crippled from taking any action because you just don't want to do it wrong. Guys, listen to me. Please listen to me. You getting in the gym and doing a bro split and doing any kind of split is going to be better than you doing nothing. And you will make progress, especially if you're in the beginning of your journey. So I want to introduce you guys to 2 quotes that are just going to make this crystal clear for you. Quote number 1, perfect is the enemy of good. And I'm here to tell you that good is where you will find all of your massive success. Perfection is where you will only find failure, because if you require everything to be perfect in order for you to stay grinding and stay on your game, right, you're gonna lose. And you know, it took me putting on 100 pounds and losing it to understand this. Quote number 2, better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without. Optimal is an illusion, my friends, and I'm gonna share with you 3 steps that I have used to be able to throw optimal in the trash can. So step 1, progress is greater than perfection. I know I've said it before on the channel quite a few times, and I sound like a broken record maybe. Just understand, perfect is the enemy of good. If you're unwilling to make progress in the pursuit of perfection, you'll never move closer to your goals because you're just so fixated on doing it right. And gentlemen especially, like, guys, I know we feel this way a lot, where we're like, oh, I gotta do it and I gotta grind and I gotta make sure that I'm being efficient and nailing every single thing. I know it's tempting, but you're chasing your tail here, and you're specifically chasing your tail because of tip number 2. Optimal is relative. Let me tell you something, homie. What's optimal for you isn't necessarily going to be optimal for me. And what's optimal for Chris Bumstead isn't necessarily going to be optimal for you. You got to take a couple things into account. Your time and your life, right? If your physique is your life and you have 3 hours a day to commit to your physique, that's one thing. But we all have different schedules. We all have different lives. What about your body's needs? We're all genetically unique. So maybe you need more training on certain body parts than somebody else does. So when somebody else tells you the most optimal lifting plan or the most optimal this or that, and this applies to everything else in life, specifically in fitness, your body is unique to you, my friend, and it's a beautiful thing. You're a stud and you better know it. Now, tip number 3, be open-minded. Just be open-minded, guys. Like, you try different things, see what you like. Don't just assume that since your favorite influencer does a push-pull leg split in the gym, that you're like, oh, I have to do that because I want to look like him. him. And if I don't do this split, then I won't look like him. That's dog shit. That's not true. First of all, you'll never look like him because your genetics are different than his, right? My biceps are never gonna look like Steve Cook's because I have different genetics. They might look like my dad's, but they're not gonna look like Steve Cook's. So a recap. Progress is greater than perfection. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Number 2, optimal is relative. Stop basing what may be optimal for you based off of what is optimal for somebody else or what the literature says. Try something to get you those small wins over and over and over, even if it's not optimal, so you can make that progress to be able to pivot later. When I lost weight, I didn't lift a single weight. I just did a bunch of cardio and I ate a lot less. Was it optimal? No, but it's exactly what I needed, because if I would have tried to weight lift on top of that, I wouldn't have been able to sustain those things. It would have been too overwhelming, would have been too time consuming. My life is different than a bodybuilder's. Now it has adapted, so I've been able to get where I am, not just overnight and not in 3 months, right? I had to take the time to meet myself where I was at and not do what's optimal for others, but do what's optimal for me in my chapter of my life. And number 3, be open-minded. Don't have your mind made up before you even try a new workout program or a new cardio source or just a new activity in general. But on that note, guys, you all inspire me. You got nothing but love coming from me always. And I'm gonna leave you guys like I leave you every single video. Let's keep getting better together. Let's keep on grinding. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.